Caitlin Clark is going to spend all of next season playing in NBA arenas. We've got rival fans being furious that, you know, Caitlin Clark is that she's getting new arenas, getting moved to new arenas. You've got people saying that they're pushing the Fever. Why are they pushing the Fever?
Caitlin Clark isn't just making headlines. She's shaking up the whole league. Teams like Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, and DC are already moving to bigger arenas just to handle the Clark effect. Meanwhile, somewhere out there, Angel Reese might be scrolling and wondering why it's not her name on those massive billboards.
One thing is very clear. The Indiana Fever is America's team. And boy, the haters, by the time this season is over, their heads are going to have exploded already. They're going to be so angry by the end of this WNBA season. I mean, it's going to be hilarious watching the daily meltdown.
One thing's for sure, the Indiana Fever is America's team right now, and the haters? Oh, they're already boiling. By the end of this WNBA season, their heads might just explode from all the rage. Honestly, watching the daily meltdowns is going to be half the fun.
6 WNBA teams that have moved their games to NBA or NBA size arena.
Take a second and let this sink in. 6 WNBA teams are leaving their regular home courts just for one rookie, Caitlin Clark. That's not hype. That's history. Every Indiana Fever road game is now in a 15,000-plus seat NBA arena. Not because it's trendy, because Clark sells out venues like no one else in the league. The Atlanta Dream? State Farm Arena. The Chicago Sky? United Center, not for Reese, for Clark. Even the Vegas Aces are moving to T-Mobile Arena. Clark's presence isn't just big. It's changing the entire league.
Caitlin Clark, the people's champion! Let's get it!
That's a deep one.
Bang!
Just announced that Caitlin Clark and the Fever will be playing 41 of 44 games this year on national TV. They're coming to watch the other girl, right?
Right? Bang!
Teams are moving their games with the Fever to NBA arenas so they can sell more tickets. How about that?
Bang!
Angel Reese attempted a 3 this deep. I think she might dislocate her shoulder.
Bang!
You want some butter with that bread? Butter. Butter.
Butter pecan! Bang!
It's hilarious when you think about it. Just last season, these teams were acting like Caitlin Clark was just another draft pick. We don't need her, they said, all puffed up. The league's fine. And no, those same teams are scrambling for court space just to handle the Clark crowds. This isn't just rolling out the red carpet. It's bulldozing the street and repaving it in gold.
Atlanta Dream moved 1 game to the State Farm Arena. Chicago Sky moved 2 games to the United Center. Home of the Bulls, home of the Blackhawks. In Atlanta, by the way, that's the home of the Hawks. Connecticut Sun moved 1 game to TD Garden, home of the NBA Celtics. That's going to look really freaking cool on TV.
Special recognition goes to Connecticut. They don't even have an NBA arena nearby. So what did they do? Packed their bags and shifted the whole operation to Boston. New state, new zip code, new everything, all to make room for Caitlin. That's not guest treatment. That's royalty-level hospitality. Now imagine if Angel Reese tried to pull the same move. They'd laugh her all the way to a suburban middle school gym.
Now at the stage where Caitlin Clark is probably going to be responsible, I'm not joking when I say this, for like games where she plays in are probably going to be responsible for like 30% of the attendance in the W.
And it doesn't stop there. The Dallas Wings and Washington Mystics are also moving their Caitlin Clark games to bigger arenas, with more seats, VIP sections, and let's be honest, more money to make. This isn't just a random decision, it's smart strategy. When Caitlin Clark comes to town, it's not just a game, it's a full-on economic boost. One ESPN analyst even joked that she's the walking GVP of the WNBA. But honestly, the numbers prove it's true.
Teams that are going to average 3,000 fans at games, but have 17,000 fans when Caitlin Clark shows up to town with the Fever.
Now, let's check in on the haters. The same people who were shouting from the rooftops that Caitlin Clark was overhyped have gone suspiciously quiet. Why? Because their arenas are packed, their jerseys are flying off the shelves, and their TV ratings are skyrocketing, all thanks to the player they once claimed didn't matter. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still stewing over her not-so-unrivaled championship, watching Caitlin steal the spotlight, the schedule, and the stadiums.
Mercury play in the NBA arena. The Seattle Storm do. There are 13 WNBA teams, 7 already playing NBA arenas. The other 6 are moving their games to NBA arenas versus the Fever. You can't acknowledge that she is the needle move.
If there's actually a debate on who was Rookie of the Year last year, imagine being that delusional. Bang! People need to understand she saved this league. Powder, there's no TV deals, no ad sponsorships, heck, no shoe deals for you, Angel Reese, no McDonald's money. The league losing millions of dollars each year. She saved them from bankruptcy. Time to be grateful. Bang! 93% of her games on national TV. She's like that. Bang!
Before Caitlin Clark hit the WNBA, the average game drew about 6,000 fans, basically the size of a medium-sized high school pep rally. But Clark? She's effortlessly packing out 20,000-seat arenas like it's just another Tuesday. That's not just an increase. That's triple the usual crowd. These fans aren't there to see the local team. They're showing up for her. League execs are practically tripping over themselves, openly admitting they'd sacrifice home court advantage just to cash in on the Clark craze. That's not hype. That's a walking ATM in sneakers.
Got some more information on the games and some perspective. Here we are. Indiana Fever put this out, man, just a few minutes ago. All eyes on us. 41 of our 44 games are on national television.
The NBA attendance jumped 48% last season, and Caitlin Clark is the reason. Teams are now planning their entire season around her appearances. The Las Vegas Aces, who've rolled their eyes at Clark's hype, are moving games to the T-Mobile Arena. Why? Because the Caitlin effect is real, and even they can't deny she's the main draw.
Most television games in franchise history, the most national television games in for a single team in WNBA history. How about that? Also just came out. This is the national broadcast schedule right here against the Sky. It's an ABC broadcast network television game. New York Liberty. It's a CBS game. These are all going to be big rated games. CBS against the Sky. ABC against the Liberty. So you're seeing the teams that move the needles that they're going to play. That should draw some ratings anyway. I'm not going to say these other teams move the needles because they really...
Caitlin Clark has 41 nationally televised games this season, more than any other player or team. ESPN, ABC, CBS, NBA TV. Everyone's after the Clark spotlight. It's a broadcast frenzy, and no one's settling for second best. Last season, the Indiana Fever were barely noticed, but with Caitlin Clark, they've become the WNBA's spotlight team. The once overlooked franchise is now front and center, and that's got players like Angel Reese feeling some type of way. They thought the throne was theirs until Caitlin came along with her records and crazy range, making it her show.
More and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before, and it kind of takes your breath away at points.
The WNBA needs to do everything they can to promote Caitlin Clark. And I'm not saying do it at the expense of anyone else, but they went into last season basically trying to promote anyone but Caitlin Clark for...
Last season, the WNBA tried to push an everyone's a star approach, giving equal screen time to all. But fans weren't buying it, they came for Caitlin. The ratings proved it. Every time Clark played, the numbers soared. When she didn't, it was crickets. The league quickly realized it wasn't about fairness, it was about smart business. More Clark.
I don't know what we tried to do it to promote anyone but Caitlin Clark. And that made no sense. Because for the long-term growth of the league, you can't just promote one player. But promote Paige, promote Caitlin, promote Rive, literally what they should be doing. You should be promoting every single player in this league. But not... And again, don't promote Caitlin Clark at the expense of the league, but also promote Caitlin Clark. Promote everyone more. Promote Caitlin Clark constantly. Promote all these players constantly. Promote rivalries constantly. Promote these big games constantly.
America's team... Yeah, guys, I mean, let's just be honest. This is exactly what they do in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys. All right, this is exactly what they're going to do, and they do every year with the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because they draw ratings. Sure, this is because of Angel Reese. That's good. That's really good. Seriously, no, not at all. The Caitlin Clark effect is point. All the Sky games are on big networks. All the Indiana Fever versus Sky games are on big networks. The Aces game, like I said, is on ESPN. The Liberty games are on big networks, the games against the Liberty. So, and there's a lot of ion on any of these games. Guys, one of these games is going to hit 3 million viewers this year. All right. I don't know which one. I assume you can look at the Sky and look at the Aces, those two games, and think those are the games that could, in theory, break 3 million, maybe more than that. The All-Star game, of course, did a massive rating. What is it going to end up doing this year? So it's all going to be very interesting.
I'm going to say she's the needle mover. She's the needle. She is the needle. And it's just madness. It's madness that there are still people going out of their way talking about, complaining about this. Like, it's an objectively good fact that every single team that is not playing in an NBA arena has for Caitlin Clark. It genuinely just shows that the Caitlin Clark boom is not in. We saw between 2023 and 2024 in terms of college ball. Until the tournament, there was hype for Caitlin Clark as she was breaking the records, but it wasn't like it was this same hype as it was during the tournament. Whereas now it's looking like the freaking hype is gonna last as long. Like, the hype coming into the start of next season is greater than the hype starting her college.
The WNBA is at a turning point. Embrace Caitlin Clark's star power or get left behind. Teams that tap into her hype will succeed, while those focused on fairness will fall behind. Angel Reese should check the Fever's schedule, because the team everyone overlooked last season is now a hot ticket. Clark isn't just playing, she's changing the game. She's setting the tone and rewriting the rules. The WNBA isn't just evolving, it's being transformed, with Clark leading the way. The rest of the league can join her or stay on the sidelines. The spotlight's on her. Are you ready? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Check out the video on the screen, and we'll see you next time.